What's up, everybody? Oh, there it is. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Hello. My mic is hopefully picking up. It doesn't seem to be picking up. 1 second. How do I check this thing? So crazy. Oh, maybe it is picking up. More power. I hate this crap. All right, you can't hear me. Well, that was fun. Fun little test there. Anyways, welcome to the Just Off the Post LAFC show for October 25th, 2020 for our game against the Los Angeles Galaxy of Carson. Well, you can see my computer going on back there. My buddy's doing a Twitch live stream as we speak, so that's kind of cool. But anyways, this was a game that I did not expect much. Honestly, yes, it's El Trafico. Yes, it's a rivalry game against Carson, but I didn't expect a whole lot because it was just kind of integrating our people in against a really crappy team. If you take the team names out of it, we're just trying to integrate our people in against a bad team. And that's pretty much what it was. We, of course, had Palacios, Cifuentes, Rossi, Rodriguez, all back from international break or whatever, where they had to go play for their team. And then, of course, we had Vela and Blackman on the bench, which Palacios was on the bench too, but Vela and Blackman on the bench ready to come in off of their injuries that they had. So really it was just trying to rework the team in by beating a bad team with it. And that's exactly what happened. 25 minutes in, Giancarlo Gio Gonzalez came out and got a red card initially with a penalty kick. Then the refs changed it to a yellow card with the penalty kick. Then he went to VAR and he changed it to a red card again without the penalty kick, which was the right call. It eventually got there. It took a while. It sucks when these refs are back and forth and it's taken a lot of time. But hey, the right call was made. That's what the VAR is for, and it worked out perfectly. So that happened. And at that point, when the Galaxy, who are already the worst team in the West, are moving to 10 men, it's pretty much game over from that point on. But they were going to sit everybody back and try to not concede a goal and get a draw. And that's what we saw. We ended up with a lot more shots, a ton of possession. This game was just exactly the way that we thought it was going to be, really. And ultimately, we did win. Musovski had a great goal on another potential VAR mishap. But I don't know the rules of VAR per se. But Taylor and John, the two announcers, were saying that ball in the back that should have potentially been a corner kick, it was hard to tell, but it definitely had a chance to be all the way out, was the start of the goal-scoring play all the way down at the other end. So they should have VAR'd that and said that was what was going on. But I'm not sure if that's what they VAR'd. They could have been reviewing the potential offsides of Musovski's, which was clear he wasn't offsides. But even if they were viewing that, if they only had the camera angle that Taylor and John had, then it was going to be very difficult to overturn that. But hey, it was close. I don't know. Obviously, I'm an LAFC fan, so I think it's great that the goal stood and really just kind of put the game away for us. And we were able to check in our guys. Vela came in, Blackman came in, all these guys that were previously hurt came in, and then Vela added on another goal, a sweet goal with his right foot, who everyone talks a lot of crap about him on his right foot. Well, he was able to chip it over the keeper and get that in there as well. So LAFC continues to try to look better when it matters most, and that's all we could have asked for once this season kind of quickly went down the drain, is that we look good when we need to. And we actually have now moved up back into 4th place, but Minnesota has played 1 game less than us. But it looks like it's going to be points per game because Colorado has really no chance to play the rest of their games. But that's going to be really weird because in that situation, we would then drop to 5th, at least currently, under Minnesota. And Colorado would jump all the way from 11th into 7th place and make the playoffs. So that's a little tough. I don't know how they're going to do that. They need to try to get Colorado to play some more games because they only have 14 games compared to the 18, 19, and 20 that everyone else has. But we're now getting some goal differential added on to our team. If we get to play Colorado, maybe we can get another win added to our record, So it's huge to see these guys get a chance to play and start to maneuver their way in to mid-season form, if you will, because that's what we need. That's all we need. We know that we are the best team on paper, not counting defense, but I'll talk about the signings in a little bit, but these guys, why is this thing so ridiculous, man? I don't understand why some websites just don't like to work with me. I had the schedule up and then it disappeared, but we are trying to move in and we have like 5 games left, potentially 6 if Colorado gets their head out of their ass, but I'm not sure that'll happen. No, sorry, we have 3, maybe 4 games left. So with Houston, San Jose, and Portland, we could potentially win all 3 of those games. And then if Colorado gets in as well, we could win that game. So we should hopefully be able to host a playoff game. But these 3 games, I'm banking on 3. I don't think Colorado is going to get it done. So these 3 games, we have to see our guys get better. We have to see them mesh. Bob's got to figure out his starting rotation. Now back to the signings. Jesus Murillo is here. He started. He played all game. He looked pretty good. He was out of position a couple times, but he'll start to work that in. And now we see El Munir on the right side. And the issue that I have there, I know I said that he should start in place of Blackman, and he should have, not in place of Blackman, but for the injury. He can't hit the ball on his right foot either, and that's why he's a left back. That's why Jordan Harvey and him kind of went beside each other. But that's all great. That's fine. Blackman's back. It seems once he's in game shape, he'll be back at the right back, ready to go. Harvey can slide back to bench. El Munir can start there if that's what coach wants. But a new shakeup, at least with Kay out, and we don't know how long Kay is going to be out, is that Segura is now with Murillo there, able to move up to the center defensive back and let Atuesta work into the attack a little more, which is great. It's awesome. But we need him for the center defense, because if he's not at center defense, then Blackman has to be at center defense, and then the right back is screwed up again. So our lack of defensive depth is huge. I know we got another signing. We didn't get a chance to see him, but he's supposed to be a right back, so maybe that can clean itself up. But the defense looked better with Murillo back there. But like I said, he was out of position a couple times. He'll get back in there. If we get Blackman in on the right side where he's able to use his right foot, unlike El Munir, and get El Munir over on the left side where he's supposed to be, it's really starting to shift into position. Atuesta is great as the defensive midfielder, but obviously he's great in the attack as well. So, Joseph, what's going on, man? Sifu and Murillo are 2 beasts. Sifu looked amazing. Like I said earlier in the stream, he was back from his international duty, and he looked great. I have never been a big Mark Anthony Kay fan, so to see Cifuentes come in and be able to fill that hole, I'm not a huge fan of Janela, but that's okay. He can kind of take Kay's place for now. But Atuesta, as I was saying, is going to play that center defensive role unless Segura gets moved up in there in certain situations. But Right now, I don't want to see that. I want to see Segura at defense so that Blackman can go out wide. Murillo looks like he's going to be great in there. And once he gets more games under his belt, figures out the way this defense works, he's a great defender, but you have to figure out the team's defense first. He was shifted over a little too far on the right a couple times. Luckily, the Galaxy were down a man, plus they're just bad. So they were not able to take advantage of that. But when that defense gets rock solid, Cisniega is great. Our starting lineup is going to look amazing. The only issue, quote unquote issue, and it's a good problem to have, do we have to start Musovski now? Because Bradley Wright Phillips is one of the greatest scorers of all time, but Musovski has proven now that he can play up top. And we have had a history of that center mid subbing out right after halftime anyway, so it's going to be both of them being used. But now that Brian Rodriguez, Diego Rossi, and Carlos Vela will all be back and good to go, we are going to have to figure that out. It's a 5-man rotation for 3 spots, and Vela and Rossi are going to have to start. So you have to figure out what is going to go on there with the strikers. And again, that's a great problem to have. And we needed to work on our defense first, where it looks like we're starting to figure that out. So the forwards can just kind of do as they please. And we can even drop Rodriguez back and bench Janela if we need to, while Kay is injured, to get that 4th man in there and they can attack hard. Joseph, to your point, yes, Muhammad looked a little bit off, but the reason, as I said, is he's not a right back. He can't play with it off his right foot. You saw when he was getting the ball in deep in the right position, he had to cut back to try to kick it with his left foot, and that's a problem. But if Blackman gets over there, El Munir gets moved to the left side where he's supposed to be, lets Jordan Harvey be a super sub off the bench again, I think it's going to be great. He makes the right runs, and he's going to make the right runs no matter what, whether he's on the right side or the left side. It's just that he's more effective on the left side. So that's getting shored up. Everything's getting shored up. We're going to be playing Houston here soon. Get another win, get to host a playoff game. I'm starting to see that we can do that. Seattle stands in our way in the West. That's pretty much it. Portland, I'm not super worried about. Minnesota, I'm not super worried about. So who's that other team that's up there in the top? I don't remember, but obviously I'm not all that worried about them. So we should be set up for a rematch against Seattle. And I don't want to speak 2 weeks ahead already, but we look like we're going to be in that situation, just ready to move. Let's just get a home playoff game first, figure it out, avoid Seattle in the first round. It looks like that's going to be an easy thing to do unless we go on a losing streak. So that's big. And just to touch on it, it's always great to see the Galaxy lose. Sorry, Carson, it's a problem that you just, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know if they have to now fire Guillermo Barros Schelotto or not. The pandemic makes it kind of crazy, but he doesn't seem to be doing it. The red card really screwed them up, just to their point. But I'd love for them to keep him around because he doesn't seem to be working. So LAFC looks like they're going to be back. I'm most happy about the injury-plagued players, Vela and Blackman, being able to come in, play 20 minutes, not look hurt, not look to have any ill effects. And Vela didn't get a chance to really run. We need to make sure he can get into game shape, but his leg looks fine. And obviously his scoring form is always going to be fine, so we're not worried about that. But LAFC looks like they're heading back the right way. I'll be back here after the Houston game to check in. Just a quick recap, like always. So check it out. Poor Harvey. Yeah, pour one out for Harvey and his liver. He got a nice little liver shot. He's fine. But it was really hilarious because Janela just was wanting to help him up. That's all he cared about. He's like, oh, you're getting up. You're getting up. You're getting up. And Harvey's like, dude, let me sit for a little bit. I'm not as young as you guys. It hurts to get hit in the liver. But, yeah, no, it's fine. He's fine. We're fine. Harvey shouldn't be playing 90 minutes. So El Munir being over there is going to really help as well. But I'll be back after the Houston game, hopefully after another win, and hopefully moving up. And then just a shout out, because it has to go without saying, the Dodgers are playing tonight. I will be watching. I was watching last night. I was crushed. I was devastated. LAFC got me back on board. we are ready. Couple hours. It's going to be game time. Check out the podcast on Tuesday morning. We will, of course, talk about all of the Dodgers games that have happened. And hopefully it's a win. You got to win game 5, especially after the way you lost game 4. So check out the podcast if you want to hear the other sports. If you're just trying to hear LAFC, I will be back live after the Houston game. As always, be a stud, not a scrub.